So what we'll do is we'll just quickly go through the questions in which you all had any difficulties. Okay. So I'll just, according to the numbers 1 to 50, do you have the paper? Can you open your paper with you all? Is it there? Or have you all noted down your doubts or something like that way? Have you all noted the doubts? Whatever, wherever you went wrong, did you note the doubts and kept it? Any one of you all? Have you all noted down the doubts? Hmm. Huh. Okay. So if any one of you all have got any specific doubt in any of the question, you can just tell me the question number so I can explain you all uh, the correct answer to it. See, what is my way, basically, that you will get the answer key, that's a different story, right? You will get the answer key, you will get what marks you have got, and all those things is different, better. Yeah. That's what. Yeah, that's what. But what I am here, like I just don't want like other classes वाले क्या करते हैं ना, वो क्वेश्चन पेपर दे देते हैं आपको और आपको आंसर की दे देते हैं, फिर जो रॉन्ग है वो रॉन्ग है, चलो गया हवे में। ऐसा नहीं है बेटा, you should know that where you went wrong, even if it's a single mistake, where is the mistake that has happened and why you did that mistake, what was the reason for that mistake, have you realized what was the mistake, or still you feel that you are right, or you did not understand the question at all. So I would be, like helping you all with all the questions where you have gone wrong with. Okay, so you don't repeat the same mistake henceforth. So बस आंसर की दे दिया मतलब हमारे तरफ से बात खत्म? No, it's not going to be like that way. Every paper I'll be discussing with you all, so that you all don't make or you all don't repeat the same mistake henceforth. Okay, so likewise, uh, if anyone has got any specific questions, um, you all can tell me, or question number you all can tell me. I'll definitely help you all out with the answers. इसलिए पूछा किसी ने नोट किया है? Okay, question number 48. Well, let me see. Question number 48. 1 minute, हाँ बेटा. Okay. The question is, in question number 48, the question is, each plant is labeled indicating its botanical or scientific name and its family. The taxonomical aid used for this is, so what is it, my dear? Botanical name will be given, scientific name will be given, and the family will be given. Each plant they are saying, they are not saying plant material. If they would have said plant material, then it could be dead or conserved one, or sorry, preserved one. But because the question is the plant is labeled, so it has to be a living plant. So your answer क्या होने वाला है बेटा? What would be your answer? Yes. Okay. So then your answer is going to be your C option. That is going to be your botanical garden. Got it? Got it? Yes. So, 47. Okay, one by one, one by one. 1 minute. You all don't send me all together. What happens now? Then I may miss your question because right now I have got for 47 and the second question. Wait करो बेटा, पहले 47 पे जाती हूँ, फिर second पे आती हूँ, फिर और भी कोई questions है तो मैं ले लूँगी. I discuss all the questions. Don't worry. So फिलहाल के लिए 47. Okay, 47 times 7. 1 minute. Huh? Let me check the 47 question. Hmm. Wild animals are kept in protected environments. Exactly. So, where will the protected environments be there? See, they are again not saying the or the specimens of, they are saying wild animals. So, obviously, they'll be kept in the zoological park. Okay. So, the answer to your 47th question is going to be zoological park because they are talking about living animals. Fine. उसके बाद दूसरा पोस्ट करना। सेकंड पे आ जाती हूँ। सेकंड। हाँ, so these are the I had told you all first only. Do you these are very simple chapters, and from these simple chapters only most complex questions would be framed. तो ये जो फ्लो चार्ट्स तुम लोग देख रहे हो ना, कितने सारे फ्लो चार्ट्स है देखो, है ना, तो इसमें ही गड़बड़ हो जाएगी। चलिए, let us understand how to solve these. Okay, in the following diagram identify the correct categories according to their taxonomical hierarchy. ठीक है, अब इसमें उन्होंने प्रॉब्लम किधर किया है पता है? स्पीशीज टू किंगडम तो सही डाला है, species, genus, family, order, class, division या phylum, and then kingdom. That chronology is the same, but they have changed the numbering, my dears. So in this type of questions, what you're going to do is first write down the species to genus everything. द वे आई रेड जस्ट नाउ ना, ऐसे के ऐसे पूरा है ना रफ पेपर पे लिख लो बेटा आंसर, और फिर बस मैच कर लेना। ठीक है, अब देखो, लुक एट दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन जहां पर उन्होंने हॉट्स, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज हॉट्स, तो थोड़े से ट्विस्टेड दो तीन चीजों को मिलाकर एक क्वेश्चन बनाया हुआ है। सो लुक एट दिस, सो दे आर सेइंग प्राइमाटा, डिप्टेरा एंड कार्निवोर बिलोंग्स टू द कैटेगरी 1। प्राइमाटा, डिप्टेरा एंड कार्निवोर, ये तीनों क्या है बेटा? व्हाट इज इट? स्पीशीज, जीनस, फैमिली, order. So primata, diptera, carnivore, all three are what? Orders. So this is going to be what? Correct statement, right? Look at the second one. Petunia, Datura, Solanum belong to the same category 2. 2 is going to be the family. So we know Petunia, Datura and Solanum all belong to the same family, that is Solanaceae, right? So even this is going to be the correct one, right? Then look at the third one. Angiosperm belongs to category 5. Is it 5 or is it 4? What is it? Right? So that is going to be an incorrect statement. Look at the fourth one. Man and dog show maximum similarity at 4. So maximum similarity का मतलब क्या हो गया कि ऐसा कौन सा ग्रुप है जिधर हम लोग साथ में जा सकते हैं? So it's going to be chordata ना, right? Only chordata में ही हम लोग आ सकते हैं, otherwise we don't have similarity. So only maximum similarity will be seen in chordata, right? So your fourth, sorry, not chordata, अपना इसमें उसके नीचे class mammalia, I'm sorry. So ये fourth वाला option आपका गलत हो गया. Look at the fifth sentence. Category 3 is same for lion, tiger and leopard. Is it right? Category 3, lion, tiger, leopard, all belong to the same genus. That is going to be what? Exactly, Panthera. है ना? So your fifth statement is correct. So your first is correct, second is correct, fifth is correct. So look at the option 1, 2, A, B, D option. D option. Okay, so this is the way you're going to go ahead with finding out the answers to these questions. Starting में थोड़ा सा difficult लग सकता है बेटा ये, लेकिन आदत हो जाएगी ना, then it will be very easy for you. Got it now? Understood how to solve this? Yeah. Okay, question number 1 minute. Question number 4, question number 5. Wait, I've got 2 questions now to be solved. Chal. So let us see question number 4. What is the highest? Forget about the highest and the lowest. Think about yourself. McCoy, no, bacha. McCoy is not Melongena. Melongena is brinjal and McCoy is nigrum. Nigrum. Okay, Solanum nigrum is McCoy. Which question can you repeat? Wait now, just now I've got 4 and 5, I guess ना. चलो वो पीछे चला गया रे. 4 and 5 ही था ना. 4 and 5 ही पूछा था मैंने. अभी क्या बताया तुम्हें? 4 and 5 ना. हाँ. So let me first solve 4 and 5 solve करती हूँ. Then again I'll come to you. Yeah, just one. Just give me a minute. 4 and 5. 4 is, now it is simple. See, try to understand. Recognize the following diagram and find the correct option according to the taxonomic category. Okay. तो आप देखो बेटा, look at the positions. देखो, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Look at that hierarchical position. ठीक है. So इसमें if you talk about the first, so dog will belong to which family? Dog will belong to Canidae. Okay. Cat will belong to which family? Cat and tiger both will belong to Canidae family. Man will belong to which family, beta? Hominidae family. Correct. So all three are there. Like 1, 2, 3 are talking about the families. Because dog का genus हमारे book में दिया ही नहीं है. Ask you question based on the genus, right? So dog family, cat and tiger together they have asked. So that's going to be the Canidae. Man is going to be Hominidae, right? Now the next one, look at the fourth one. That is going to be what? Fourth is Canidae and Felidae will belong to whom? Carnivora. Correct? We know this. So fourth would be what? Carnivora. Man का third के बाद fifth है बेटा. So we are going to be what? Primata. Right? Now carnivora and primata both will belong to whom? Mammalia. Right? So this is the way you have to find out कि Canidae, Felidae together they are going to be coming under one heading, that is carnivora, primata, next one, and primata and carnivora into Mammalia. ठीक है ना? So this is the way you have to keep on, like of course this will come by practice. You don't have to worry. It will come by practice. But this is the way these type of they are not difficult questions, but they are twisted. इसको थोड़ा सा है ना logically apply करके अपने को solve करना पड़ता है. Correct? So that is going to be your fourth one. Okay. Fifth one also. Okay. 1 minute. Just see the fifth one. In the following diagram, identify the correct categories. Okay. Again, see, from species to kingdom, they have kept it same. Again, the way I told you. What did I tell you? First, fill the blanks. कि ए सबसे नीचे उन्होंने ई दिया है, देखो तो ई क्या है, तो ई इज इक्वल टू जीनस. ए क्या है, ए इज इक्वल टू फैमिली. बी क्या है, like that will fill the gaps first and then try to solve this. Then only you will get the answer. So what are they saying? See, the first one they are saying is wheat and mango belong to the same category B. B. No, na? One is angiospermae, one is monocotyledone, and one is dicotyledone. So wheat is monocot and mango is dicot. So this sentence becomes wrong. Look at the second one. Potato, brinjal, and macoy belong to the same category E. Solanum nigrum, Solanum tuberosum, Solanum melongena, and Solanum nigrum. All of them belong to the same genus Solanum. So that particular sentence is going to be the correct statement. So आपका second statement सही है बेटा. Then look at the third one. Muscidae, Anacardiaceae, and Angiospermae belong to the same category A. Muscidae, Anacardiaceae ठीक है. Angiospermae तो division हो गया ना बेटा. तो Muscidae and Anacardiaceae तो family हो गए. तो ये दो family है और एक डिविजन है, तो ये स्टेटमेंट इधर के इधर रॉन्ग हो गया. डोंट इवन लुक एट ABCD क्या है. It's a wrong statement altogether. So third statement is wrong. So first statement is wrong, third statement is wrong, second was correct till now. Let us look at the fourth one. See, gorilla, gibbon, and chimpanzee belong to the same category D. Correct na? Order, same order na? Exactly. So they are going to be the fourth statement is going to be the correct statement. Fourth statement is the correct statement. Correct. Look at the fifth one now. Dicotyledone and monocotyledone belong to category C दिया है कि E दिया है? C. Where is it? No, na. They are not going to be belonging to the same one, right? Monocotyledone and dicotyledone are going to be angiospermae, right? And angiospermae does not come over here, na? So your fifth statement will be wrong, correct? So which are the two statements which were right? Two is correct, fourth is correct. So where is the option? C option, dekho. Look at the C option. For this, so this is the way you have to, actually go through this. Question number 8. Okay. Any more questions? तो मैं दो questions at a time read करती हूँ. दो questions read करती हूँ बेटा. First and 8. This will take a lot of time initially, my dear. Once you are through with this now, within, like looking at that particular content only, आपको answer आ जाएगा. Wait, beta, first and 8th आया है. Wait. I'll take 2 more questions later on. Okay. First, I'll solve first and 8th. Wait, don't post. If you post ना, then your question might go ahead because comment section में मुझे जितने दिख रहे हैं ना उतने में ले रही हूँ फिलहाल. तो फर्स्ट एंड 8th वाला पहले ले लेती हूँ. हाँ, और उसके बाद 9 10. ओके, सो 1 8 9 10. ओके, फाइन. सो 1 and 8 is 1 1 1. Now it is easy to solve this. Again, the same quick method that I told you. What is it going to be? Recognize the chart and select the correct correct option according to the taxonomic hierarchy. Now you all know the answer. Come on. Datura and potato both will belong to whom? Datura and potato will belong to whom? Yes, they are actually going to be belonging to your Solanaceae. Correct? So you may feel that Solanaceae is the a Solanum. चलो, सोलानम नहीं, पोटैटो अलग है, फैमिली सेम है उनका, सोलनेसी है. चलो ठीक है, ये सोलनेसी आ गया. मैंगो का फैमिली इज अनाकार्डियेसी. ओके, फाइन. wheat is going to be poaceae. Okay, चलो. But look at this now. Is it like that way that the fourth option, that is going to be what? Solanaceae and Anacardiaceae both belong to polymonales. Fine. Okay. Then Poaceae will be your poels. Okay. Okay. Fine. But my dear, look at this. Look at this. Sixth, angiospermae. Directly. Okay. So yes, even that could be one of the options which could be correct. But if you look at the connecting links, what is the right way of approach to this particular question? First would be what, beta? Datura, potato. Datura and potato. So family कौन सा आएगा यहाँ पर? Datura and potato belong to which family? Do they belong to Solanaceae family or do they belong to polymonales? Tell me. Family कौन सा है? Datura and इसका which family? Yes, exactly. Why you want? No, I can't do that. I don't have that in that form of your questions. Okay. Therefore, it is going to be your polymonales. And therefore, once that polymonales aa jayega na, then your entire sequence will go in a different mode altogether. Okay. Fine. So your answer is going to be what? So your answer is going to be polymonales, sapindales. Mango is sapindales, right? Sapindales, poels, dicotyledone. बेटा, it is going to be your fourth जो level है ना, वो dicotyledone and monocotyledone है, क्योंकि polymonales and poels एक साथ नहीं आ सकते हैं. They are two different. Therefore, it's going to be dicotyledone and monocotyledone. And the sixth one is going to be your angiospermae. So correct definition के हिसाब से जाएंगे तो many of you all would have got confused with your second option and the first option, right? But why the first option is more precise? Did you all understand why it is more precise? Because of polymonales, sapindales, poels. All three belong to the same type of taxa. Okay. Angiosperm, division. Angiosperm is division. Okay. Got it? Yeah. So first tha 8 tha 8. Monocotyledone is one more division. It's going to be the class. Monocot and dicots are the classes. Okay. Then you want me to go with 8, 9, 10. Okay, let me see 8, 9, 10. किधर गए? Again the same type of question. Now you all will tell me the answer. Come on. 8 का question क्या होगा? 8 का answer क्या होगा? See, now again as I say Mangifera to Angiospermae. So you know, Mangifera के ऊपर क्या आ जाएगा बेटा? Anacardiaceae. Anacardiaceae, Sapindales. Sapindales, then dicotyledone. Dicotyledone, Angiospermae. So first fill in the gaps. Okay, and then see if the sentences are matching. So they are saying A means genus. Genus is comparable to Muscariae, while B is comparable. B huh, is comparable at the same level of the primata. Huh? Correct. Then C includes all the angiosperms including two cotyledons in their seeds. Correct ना? डाइकोटिलेडोने का एग्जाम्पल दे रहा है तो बराबर है सी सेंटेंस भी. फॉर व्हीट ए इज पोएसिए. करेक्ट. ये एनाकार्डिएसिए है, उधर पोएसिए है. बराबर है. पोएल्स, बी इज पोएल्स एंड सी इज मोनोकोटिलेडोने. परफेक्ट ना? सो पोएसिए, पोएल्स, मोनोकोटिलेडोने. यहाँ पर क्या है? एनाकार्डिएसिए. Correct. Either it was what? Anacardiaceae, Sapindales, and dicotyledone. So same हो गया, same taxonomic level पे आ गए तीनों, and all of the above are correct statements. Yes, that is the correct one. 8-1. ठीक है? Have you all followed the 8-1? Anyone still having the problem with 8-1, beta? 9th, yeah. I'm going ahead with 9th and 10th. Yeah, I'm going ahead with 9th and 10th. The species man, housefly, mango, weed, dog, cat, lion, tiger are belong to how many different families? Oh, look at it. How many different families? So man की family क्या आती है? You've got the chart with you. Man belongs to which family? Hominidae. Excellent, Sarah. Excellent. Okay. So here you got one particular question. Okay. Yes. Hominidae. Yes. Yes. Correct. The second one is going to be what, my dear? Housefly. Housefly का family बोलो. Very good. Very good. Muscariae. Excellent. Excellent. Then so two families अब तक मिले. Wheat का family बोलो बेटा. Wheat belongs to which family? Poaceae. Very good. Yes, Siddhika, Vidhi, both of you all are right. So you got three families till now. Okay. Then look at the fourth one. Dog family and cat family. So dog family क्या है? What is the name of the dog family? Canidae. Canidae. Excellent. So we got four families till now. Look at the fifth one. Cat, lion, tiger. Don't you think they all will belong to the same? Canidae. So we got three genus, but one family. So this is the fifth one, which is going to be your Canidae. Right? Then look at the next one. That is potato, brinjal, and McCoy. Which family? Potato, brinjal, Solanaceae. So और एक मिला. Yeah. Oh, I missed mango. I missed mango in between. I don't like mango now, so I don't mind missing. Oh no, I should not do this. This is the examination. Sorry. Yeah. Mango is anacardiaceae. Yes. So sixth one will be apna potato family, right? And leopard. Again, Pellidae. Correct. So What is going to be your answer for this then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. नहीं, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. है ना? Right now? Okay. Yeah. So this is the way you'll be solving your this question. So ninth also done. Then last one is which one? 10th one you want me to explain? Okay. Let us see the 10th one. If two plants belong to the same division, but in different orders, they may belong to same what? Yeah. See, they are coming as we move higher, in the taxonomic tree. So what will happen, beta? The differences will go on increasing and the similarities will go on decreasing. Correct hai? So they are saying that they are in the same division but in different order. So order and division के बीच में कौन है sandwiched? Who is sandwiched between both of them? Yes. So they will be belonging to the same class. Got it? Understood? So that is about your class. So the answer will be class. Okay. Done? Any more doubts, my dears? Any more doubts? Oh my God. 11th and 12th. So I need to solve the entire paper. Okay. I'll do it. No issues. 11th and 12th. 1 minute. Okay. Recognize the following flow diagram and find the correct options according to taxonomical hierarchy. हाँ, तो इधर उन्होंने क्या दिया बेटा? पेटूनिया दिया है. So you know पेटूनिया किसको belong करता है? You know ना? Where does petunia belong? Come on, tell me, where does petunia belong? Very good. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Correct. Okay. So it is going to be nothing but your Solanaceae. बराबर है? So A will be your Solanaceae and B is going to be what? They belong to polymonales, na? Order is what? Polymonales. So Petunia belongs to Solanaceae family and polymonales, dicotyledonea and angiosperm. Right? So 11th का option ढूंढो भाई. A is fourth one. D option. And let us see the 12th one. Tiger and cat are placed in the same genus. Tiger and cat? No, na. Cat is Felis domestica. Tiger is Panthera tigris. So the genus is different. But they are placed in the same family. That is going to be Felidae. And they'll be placed in the same class. That is Carnivora. So both B and C would be the right answer. So your option will be D. Right now? Understood, beta? Yes. What are floral characters? Floral characters are going to be androecium, gynoecium, calyx, corolla. They all are your flowers ke parts, na? That is going to be your floral characters. And vegetative characters will be leaves, stem, roots, branches. These all are going to be the vegetative characters. Okay? Yeah. Huh. Which question? 21. Okay. Let us see. Question number 21. Order related to brinjal is polymonales. Order your Solanaceae belongs to whom? Polymonales. Right? So it's going to be polymonales. Yeah. Anyone else, my dears? Anyone else? Any other question which you have not followed? Let me check. Ninth question, let me check. 1 minute. Ninth. No, my dear, it is showing the right answer. Just check your answer key one more time. I don't have the answer key. Dears, please check the answer key for the 9th question. I've got the question paper only. I don't have the answer key. So please check with the answer key if there is any discrepancy in the answer key and what answer we have found out. According to me, it should be B. Same है ना? हाँ, just so. My dear, just cross. 40? Okay, wait. I'll solve the 40. Wait, huh? I'll solve the 40th question, please. Wait for a minute. Let me come to that question. 40th question. Which is essential and is the prime source of taxonomic studies and plants and animals. So identification can be done only after we collect the actual specimen, right? So unless and until we don't have the specimen with us, जब तक हमारे पास कोई स्पेसिमेन ही नहीं है हम लोग किसको आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे किसको नेम करेंगे है ना so first we have to get the actual specimen with us only then it will be possible for us to go ahead with identification nomenclature and characterization and classification okay 29 29 which is not a primate वो not होना चाहिए था which is not a primate so tiger is not a primate na monkey gorilla gibbon all are primata tiger is not okay it's not okay. Anyone else any other question or shall we move ahead these scientific names in NCERT they are there in both my dear they are there in both this chart is given in both but in NCERT they are given with 4 organisms that is they are talking about man then they are talking about housefly then they are talking about mango and lastly they have described about wheat 4 चीजों के बारे में उन्होंने एनसीईआरटी में दिया है एंड गवर्नमेंट टेक्स्ट बुक में उन्होंने जो दिया है वो शू फ्लावर के लिए दिया है दैट इज हिबिस्कस रोजा साइनेंसिस के लिए दिया है एंड बोआ बोआ दैट नाजा नाजा दैट इज अपना ये स्नेक के लिए दिया है बट इट इज देयर इन बोथ इट इज देयर इन फाइन ओके एनीवन एनी क्वेश्चन नंबर 33 wait my dear let me come to it question number 33 किधर गया fill in the blanks according to the taxonomical aids 1 2 3 and 4 so this diagram is there in your book so you have to read the labeling of the diagram very perfectly and then only you'll be able to answer this question so ये जो डायग्राम दिया है ना बेटा आपके बुक्स में उसको रेफर करके तो डायग्राम बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस क्या होते हैं ना उसके लिए ये क्वेश्चन डाला हुआ है so there are some questions which are purely diagram based from your NCERT okay so this is one of them so it is going to be your botanical garden first second will be museum third will be keys and fourth is zoological park which they have mentioned okay so this is your diagram based question 46 46 question which taxonomical aid help in correct identification monograph manual flora all of the above all are going to help in correct identification because all are coming under what all are coming under taxonomical aids all are coming under taxonomical aids okay 20th 20th question क्या है order of Felidae and Canidae oh come on I'm not going to answer this question order of Felidae Canidae क्या है come on tell me मैंने ये लिखा भी था चार्ट में of course carnivora simple okay I had given this I had made this chart on the screen and I had given you all now okay what else my dears done with your paper ke doubts So you all understood where you went wrong, and I hope you will not make the same mistakes in the next papers. 48 I have already explained. 48 मैंने बताया था. मैंने अभी explain किया ना 48? नहीं किया? 48 वाला नहीं किया है मैंने. Okay, चल. I'll explain 48 also. I've said this just now. First question was 48th question which I took up. Each plant is labeled includes botanical name, scientific name, and family. I told you all that they are saying each plant. Okay, it's not going to be the plant parts. It's plants. So it's a living organism. So it's going to be your botanical garden. Fine. Okay. So that's all. That's all. धीरे धीरे कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा बेटा, धीरे धीरे है ना, और अच्छा कॉन्फिडेंस आता जाएगा. एज एंड व्हेन यू विल गिव मोर एंड मोर पेपर्स ना, you will come to know about all the more different types of questions. Yes, my dear. So, this is the way will be, I don't mind, this is not waste of time according to me. I want all of you all to understand that how to rectify your mistakes. Just answer की दे दिया मतलब बात खत्म नहीं होती है ना बेटा, है ना. तो तुम्हें ये आदत होनी चाहिए. इट शुड बी लाइक नोन टू यू ऑल की हाउ टू रीड. या वेरी नाइस, परफेक्ट माय डियर, वेरी वेल सेड श्वेत, वेरी वेल. Yes, yes. So, like you have to read your NCRT very thoroughly. You have to read the NCRT literally line to line. And you all try to make, see, this is my, almost 20, 22 years of experience in teaching. If you follow this, na, if you actually follow this, na, no one will stop you from getting 355 out of 360 in your bio. I'm just giving एक क्वेश्चन का लिबर्टी टू यू ऑल, बिकॉज वो जनरली अगर आउट ऑफ स्कोप वाला आया तो है ना बेटा, मैं आपको एकदम इजी मेथड बता रही हूँ, अभी से बता रही हूँ, स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द ईयर से ही बता रही हूँ कि अगर आपको 350 आउट ऑफ 360 बायो में क्रॉस करना है ना माय डियर, तो यू ऑल ना व्हाट आई द वे यू टू रीड योर एनसीईआरटी, you know how you will read your NCERT. You will underline, those words, those sentences which you have not understood, but you will highlight those words which can be asked as a question. So what you will do is, you may tell, even I'll be doing this with you all, don't worry कि ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं तुम्हें बोल रही हूँ तो तुम्हारे ऊपर छोड़ रही हूँ ये मैं सब सारी चीजें. मैं भी आपके साथ ये एक्टिविटी करूंगी, अभी नहीं, ड्यूरिंग द रिविजन लेक्चर्स. You know what is that activity? Viva. Orals. मैं ओरल ले लूंगी आपके. अभी ओरल्स में, वाइवा में क्या होगा ना, आई विल आस्क यू फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स एंड नॉट एमसीक्यूज. सो यू विल बी आंसरिंग मी ओरल एग्जामिनेशन के जैसे मैं हर एक को क्वेश्चन पूछती जाऊंगी रैंडमली, एंड यू विल बी आंसरिंग मी. So what is the thing that I'm going to ask? I'm going to ask you line to line questions from your NCERT textbooks. So if from now onwards only you start highlighting the keywords, I'm saying highlighting, and अंडरलाइन किसको करना है, जो नहीं समझता है उसको अंडरलाइन करना है, जो समझ रहा है और वो कीवर्ड्स आपको लग रहे हैं ना, तो उधर है ना बेटा हाईलाइट करना है. ठीक है. और वो हाईलाइट किया हुआ जो वर्ड है ना, डोंट डू इट लाइक पूरा पूरा चैप्टर लेके मत करो बेटा. आज एक पेज किया, कल दूसरा पेज करना, परसों तीसरा पेज करना. और जो आपने पेज पे हाईलाइट किया है ना, टेल योर ब्रदर, सिस्टर, मदर, फादर, फ्रेंड, whoever is there ना, टेल देम टू टेक योर वाइवा फॉर दोज अंडरलाइन वर्ड्स. तो उनको मीनिंग समझ में आए ना समझ में आए, व्हाट दे विल डू, they'll only ask you, tell them कि जो मैंने highlight किया word है ना, don't put a blank over there and ask me the questions. My dears, this is the tested and proven formula for getting 350 plus out of 360 in your bio. So if I'm not saying do for the entire chapter all of a sudden, सारा पूरा चैप्टर एक दिन में रट्टा करो, ऐसा नहीं बोल रही हूँ मैं. एक एक पेज पढ़ते जाओ, उसको अंडरस्टैंड करते जाओ, try to highlight the keywords, ask someone to take your viva, one page. It won't even take 10 to 15 minutes to complete that particular thing, right? So you are going to be the Mr. and Miss Perfectionist of NCERT. Got this? and it is going to be very easy to get maximum marks in your examinations. But in the beginning only start this practice, have this habit. I hope by now all of you all have purchased the NCRT textbooks and GTB textbooks with you all, right? Yeah. Anyone can take, yes, good. So please my dears, you can start this practice immediately. अरे आपके फ्रेंड्स को पकड़ो, अगर कोई नहीं है ना तो कोई भी एक फ्रेंड को पकड़ो और बोलो चल मेरा वाइवा ले ले, चल फटाफट। और अगर आपके सोसाइटी में 2 लोग रहते हैं ना जो अपने इधर आ रहे हैं, या यू you नो know, साथ में हो तुम लोग, मे बी फ्रॉम द सेम स्कूल और समथिंग, तो और भी मजा है। आप उनका वाइवा ले लो, वो आपका वाइवा ले लेंगे। तो ऐसे ना चाहिए तो हाँ, so if that's what I said, whatever is there you can go with this, but I will also take this particular event once we complete the syllabus. So जब हमारा revision lectures होंगे ना, that time I will do this for all of you all. I'll be asking you all questions, but that time it will be a revision for you all, because you all have already started doing this from today onwards, and I hope you all will genuinely do this from today onwards. Okay, all the best my dears. So you will not have any problem with your NCRT, right? Okay बेटा, so ये ऐसे बीच बीच में ना मैं आपको ऐसे tricks and solutions बताती जाऊंगी, but yes, we will be discussing our papers, whatever papers you will be giving, let it be DAT, let it be VAT, we'll be discussing the papers, right? Okay, yes. So I hope I have cleared everyone's doubts for your VAT paper, which was conducted on the last Sunday. Good, good. Okay, okay. So I'll move on to the current topic that we are into. Well, that's going to be your biological classification, where we have to go ahead with Protista. I'm going to have both. I'll be having both. Okay. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, in the PBT it is written that mesosome is particularly found in gram-positive bacteria, and mesosome helps in cell wall formation, DNA aggregation, separation. Okay. So will these functions be carried out in bacteria do not have mesosome? That will be carried out by a different method. That is going to be, the functions will be carried out, but not specifically with the way these are going to be carried out in gram-positive. But the functions would be the same. The functions would be the same. Okay, it's going to be by something called as binary fission rather than DNA replication. It's going to be binary fission that will be taking place, but the functions would be the same, though it's not going to have a typical mesosome. Okay, beta. Well, then where are we? Protista. Last class we have completed with Monera, and now we go ahead with Protista. Okay. Okay. So now just pay attention to kingdom Protista, how it is all about. So kingdom Protista, all single cell eukaryotes are placed under Protista, but the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined, because there are organisms from plant kingdom, organisms from animal kingdom, organisms from fungi, all are mixed together ना, सारे unicellular organisms को इकट्ठा करके they have made this kingdom that is Protista. So their boundaries are not very well defined is what they are saying, right? Well, then they are saying that the kingdom Protista has been broadly divided into 3 main groups. First is going to be called as photosynthetic Protistians, or Protistian algae, those which belong to plant Protista. Okay. Second is consumer decomposer protist. That means they will be taken from whom? Fungi. We call them as fungi like protists also, or they are called as what? See, slime molds. And third is protozoan protist, which are no one but animal-like protists. So it has been, derived from the kingdom Animalia. So members of the Protista are primarily aquatic. ठीक है? So ये 3 टाइप के protist हैं: plant-like protist, fungi-like protist, animal-like protist. Fungi, plant-like protist also called as Protistian protist. Fungi-like protists also called as consumer decomposer or slime molds, and animal-like protists are called as protozoan protists. All three names clear in your mind? Well, now see. This kingdom forms a link between other dealing with plants, animals, and fungi. So it's going to have members of all the three. So you remember the diagram that we had seen, who is the decomposer, who is the producer, who is the consumer. So that particular peculiar diagram that I had shown you all, in that I had shown that all protists से ही सारे तीन अलग-अलग arrows निकल रहे हैं, right? So it is going to be a link. It's a connecting link between plant, animal, and fungi. Okay. Being eukaryotes means they have got a well-developed cellular organization. So being eukaryotes, the protistian cell body contains a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles also. So you know the characteristic of eukaryotic cells, right? Some have flagella or cilia. Protists reproduce asexually also, and they reproduce sexually also by the process involving cell fusion and zygote formation. So protists have been found to follow both the types of reproduction, and they can undergo cell fusions. Okay, they are unicellular, so they are saying cell fusions. Fine, just like gimme. Well, uh, then the next one, these are the photosynthetic protists. Look at the diagram, right? So these are your plant-like protists. They constitute the main portion of the phytoplanktons. I think in the water bodies, you might have heard about this name called as phytoplanktons. Phyto means plants. Phyton means small creatures. So these are plants which are very small, microscopic. They are called as phytoplanktons. They include, now see, so the plant-like protist will be further having three categories. Does a single protist follow both kinds of reproduction or different? Same. Similar type. Both will follow the same type. Okay. So under the plant-like protist, now we have got three types. Well, the first one is going to be your chrysophytes. Second one is going to be your dinoflagellates, and third are going to be your euglenoids. Don't worry, I've put up on these slides. I'll explain each one of them. Don't worry, beta. First, come to your chrysophytes. Chrysophytes, diatoms and desmids, dinoflagellates, and euglenoids. So, पहले chrysophytes पे आते हैं. This group includes diatoms and golden algae. अब देखो, though they are called as golden algae, they aren't algae actually. उनको हम डेस्मिड्स कहते हैं. सो डायटम्स एंड डेस्मिड्स ऐसे दो टाइप के क्राइजोफाइट्स होते हैं which belong to plant-like protists. Now understand this very carefully, beta. Protists are unicellular organisms. They are eukaryotic. They have got a well-defined nucleus. They have got all cell organelles. There are plant-like protists, animal-like protists, and fungi-like protists. Under plant-like protists, there are three types: chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, and euglenoids. Under chrysophytes, there are two types: diatoms and desmids. Are you all following the way I'm going ahead with? Henna? What is the difference between diatoms and desmids? I'll let you know. Fine. Now, they are found in fresh water as well as in marine waters or marine environments. They are microscopic and they float passively in the water currents. This is the most important sentence for protists, that is, this plant-like protist or chrysophytes especially, that the chrysophytes are going to move passively in the water current, means they won't be flowing against the water flow. They are going to be moving according to the water current. तो जैसे water current है ना, उसमें ये passive floating करते रहते हैं. ये against the flow जाते नहीं है. They don't utilize any energy to tread against the water. Get me? So they're always going to move how? They're going to move according to the water currents. Yes, they go with the flow. Therefore, we call them, they float passively. Yes, exactly. Very good, Palak. Just like the passive transport. Very nice. Perfect. Most of them are photosynthetic. Diatoms are unusual in their vegetative cells, which are typically diploid. Now, this is something which you have to understand, my dear. Only diatoms, only diatoms out of your chrysophytes are going to be diploid. Means they'll be having two sets of chromosomes, just like how we have got. We are also diploids now. Even our cells have got two sets of chromosomes. One set derived from our mother, one set derived from our father. Correct? In the same way, you're in case of these chrysophytes, the diatoms are going to be diploid, while the desmids are going to be haploid. Okay, so what is the difference between diatoms and desmids? Diatoms are diploid in the vegetative form, while desmids are haploid in the vegetative form. ये बात बिल्कुल समझ में आ गई आपके? अभी वेजिटेटिव फॉर्म का मतलब क्या होता है वो भी एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय द वर्ड वेजिटेटिव फॉर्म? वेजिटेटिव फॉर्म मीन्स they will eventually produce gametes. Vegetative form means they will eventually produce gametes. Okay, and these gametes which are going to be produced, they could be by meiosis or they could be by mitosis. Any process is going to be applicable for making gametes. But when they are diploid vegetative cells, they will make gametes by meiosis. And when they are haploid vegetative cells, they'll make gametes by mitosis. So desmids are haploid, they will make gametes by mitosis. Diatoms are diploid like you and me, so they'll produce gametes by meiosis. Okay? Yes, Rick. So now, when is the meiosis that is going to take place within us? We know this. Do you all know this? In human beings, when does the meiosis take place? Come on. Would you like to answer if you know? It will take place in the reproductive cells, agreed. That is in the germ cells as we call them. At the time of puberty, very correct answer. Who else would like to answer this question? हाँ, मेल एंड फीमेल गैमीट्स बनेंगे बेटा, बराबर है, मियोसिस से बनेंगे, लेकिन कब बनते हैं पता है आपको? On reproductive active age, yes, that is called as puberty. Fusion will be during fertilization. When the two gametes will be brought together, na, that time they will fertilize. That time meiosis won't take place. That time mitosis will take place in, organisms like human beings. Then fertilization. Agree. But you know what? आज एक ऐसी बात बताऊंगी ना जो शायद सुन के तुम लोग को बिलीव भी नहीं होगा. बताओ, मजे की बात बताओ. This is especially for the girls, my dear. All my girls, all my dear girls, this is especially for you all. Yeah, you may say during ovulation. I agree. I agree. No, this is a fact. This is a fact which I'll be teaching you in the chapter of human reproduction. Actually, it's a part of human reproduction, but because now haploid and diploid, all these words are coming now, I need to tell you this. I can't stop myself from telling you this fact. You know what? In case of girls, you can take my example. Okay, not like a girl. I'm like a woman, of course, but you can take my example. There is a reason. There's a reason why I'm saying my example. I cannot take your example. I'm going to take my example. See, for example, I I have a son. Okay, I have a son. So definitely, the the progeny, a son or a daughter, is going to be what? Is a resultant of fusion of male and female gamete. Do you agree to this? Right? Agreed? Now, the egg which was produced in me, okay? The egg which was produced in me, where will it be produced? Obviously in the ovary. Egg will be produced in the ovary, correct? So this egg which was produced in my ovary, when did it take birth? जो egg जो एग फर्टिलाइज हुआ और मेरा बेटा पैदा हो गया, वो जो एग है ना बेटा, उसका जन्म मेरे ओवरी में कब हुआ था? डू यू नो दिस? नो, not at the time of my birth. It had taken place when I was in the womb of my mother. Oh my God. Get me? Yes. So when I was a fetus, जब मैं फीटस थी मतलब मेरा जन्म हुआ नहीं था बेटा. My mama was that time, you know, carrying me in her womb. उसके womb में, उसके यूट्रस में जब मैं डेवलप हो रही थी, when I was actually, you know, getting, developed from a fetus to, till the time of birth वाला मेरा age, fetal age समझते हो? When that child is not born, when the child is still in the developing stage in the mother's womb, that time, so when I was in my mother's womb, that time that egg had developed in me, which eventually got fertilized to give birth to my son. Okay, है कि नहीं, है कि नहीं, मजे वाली बात है कि नहीं, कभी सोचा भी था क्या तुम लोग ने? See, and I will prove this. I'll prove this in the chapter of human reproduction. Okay, what's your doubt, beta? In fetal age, when there is balance between testosterone and estrogen, that time the ova is, yes, exactly. That is the time when the ova are actually going to be, produced. And you know what? One more fact: a fetus, a fetus. This is only for females. This is only for females. That's why I said this is for the girls, my dears. This is not the case of boys. In case of men, the spermatogenesis, that is formation of sperms or spermatozoa, will only take place at the time of puberty. Okay, it will only take place at the time of puberty. But in case of females ऐसा नहीं है. Females में देखो, वो जो लड़की born होने वाली है, वो born होने के पहले ही उसके पास mother बनने की capacity आती है बच्चा. Try to imagine this. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So imagine, so before a girl is being born, she is already going to get endowed with the capacity to become a mother. How beautiful is the nature, right? Correct? So you might have never thought of it ना, कभी सुना भी नहीं होगा ना, ऐसे लग भी होगा ना, लगता होगा ना, ये क्या कुछ भी बोल रही है, कैसे पॉसिबल है? अरे मैं प्रूव करूंगी ना ये, I'll prove this. But there is one fact, that is, in the fetal condition, almost 2 lakh ova are produced. Okay, almost 2 lakh. By the time the that fetus is going to be around the age of being born, okay, they are going to be reduced to hardly 1 lakh. So at the time of birth na, when the child, that fetus, that girl child, when she will be born na, 2 lakh eggs में से सिर्फ 40,000 eggs ultimately बचते हैं बेटा. Only 40,000 eggs ultimately बचते हैं. And then उनका ना process arrest हो जाता है. The development of the ova are going to get arrested for few years till she attains puberty. Okay, till she attains puberty. Fine, right? No beta, that is for males. Shwet, that is for males. And then what will happen, eventually, for almost 12, 13, 14 years of her age, this particular eggs will be in the arrested, means they cannot grow further. Okay, ऐसे condition में रहेंगे. And then what will happen, once the female reaches the puberty or the age of adolescence, as we say, that time, yeah, they get degenerated earlier. जितने बनते हैं ना वो degenerate होते जाते हैं. That time, then only one egg which was formed that time will get the capacity to become matured. ठीक है, तो इतने सारे हैं, लेकिन सबको चांस नहीं मिलता है एट द सेम टाइम मैच्योरिटी में जाने के लिए. एवरी मंथ एक एग, एवरी मंथ एक ही एग मैच्योरिटी की तरफ जाएगा. ठीक है, समझ में आ रही है बात? सो यू नो लाइक इफ यू कैलकुलेट, it's like again, it's like a like hypothesis है ये. It is it can be plus minus in every individual depending upon the situations. So approximately the reproductive age of a female is going to be calculated from menarche to menopause. So menarche means starting of the menstrual cycle, menopause is going to be the end of the menstrual cycle. ठीक है, so it's approximately calculated as 30 years. And every year, approximately, every female will ovulate, means will reach the maturity stage of each egg 13 times. So in a year, the female will generally experience 13 menstrual cycles. 13 menstrual cycles will be experienced by the female because it's going to be of 28 days. Okay. So approximately 13 menstrual cycles will be experienced by the female. Okay. And therefore, what we say 13 into 12 multiplied by 30. इतने years का अपना reproductive age है. So around 400 plus eggs only will have the scope to actually become matured out of 40,000. समझ में आ रही है बात? और उसमें भी अगर if the female is going to remain pregnant, then for the almost like 10, 12, 15 months, she will not ovulate. So that is the different story which I'll be talking about eventually in the chapter of human reproduction. Okay. Huh. If the egg fertilizes after puberty, there will be no, nothing wrong. That female will be definitely, carrying the embryo. Okay, nothing like that. Nothing like that. No disabled child and aisa kuch nahi. Fine. Yeah, I know this is very interesting because it is associated with us now. It is associated with us. So, anyways, we'll be doing all these things in detail, that how this is happening, why this is happening, what are the different hormones which are involved, and blah 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 blah. पूरी कहानी मैं आपको बताऊंगी. But फिलहाल मैं आती हूँ photosynthetic process. Oh my god. Anyways, so it was interesting ना, but seriously tell me, हमने कभी सोचा नहीं था ऐसा वाला एक फैक्ट आपको समझ में आ गया कि नहीं आज. इसीलिए मैंने मेरा एग्जांपल दिया रे, बिकॉज आई हैव अ सन, सो आई कैन टेक माय एग्जांपल. हाउ कैन आई टेक योर एग्जांपल? यस. अरे ऑल सी ऑल दीज चैप्टर्स आर इंटरकनेक्टेड बेटा. एक एक करके हमें आगे बढ़ना ही है. वी हैव टू कवर ऑल दीज थिंग्स, ऑफ कोर्स. ओके. यस यस यस. एनीवेज, सो where are we? Huh. So diatoms. Diatoms are unusual in their vegetative cells, and they are going to be typically diploid, while desmoids are going to be haploid. So now you understood that how the diatoms will be producing the gametes. They'll be producing by meiosis the way we are producing. So our, in case of, come on, human females, all of us, okay, including me and my dear girl students, right? In all of us, the meiosis started when we were in the fetal age, in the womb of our mothers, which got arrested at the time of birth, and it resumed at the time of puberty. That is, that is ultimately going to give rise to your four haploid cells. Correct? So that is going to be your meiosis. What exactly is meiosis? How does it take place? Don't worry, I'm there. I'll explain. Okay. And in case of haploids, haploids cannot undergo meiosis. They will only undergo mitosis. ठीक है, समझा? तो ये डायटम्स का ये यहाँ पर है ना फोटो डाला है क्राइजोफाइट्स का. ये सारे ऑल ऑफ देम आपको यहाँ पर कुछ ऐसे गोले गोले दिखाई दे रहे. कैन यू सी दोस बबल्स ओवर इट? साबुदाना का जैसा पूरा एक डेकोरेशन दिखाई दे रहा है आपको बेटा? So what are they? Even let us see. In diatoms, the cell walls form two thin overlapping shells which fit together as a soap box. So if you have seen soap boxes या फिर टिफिन boxes, आपके स्कूल में आप टिफिन लेके जाते होंगे ना, तो टिफिन का बॉक्स कैसे होता है? द बेस थोड़ा सा छोटा and the lid उसके ऊपर perfectly fit होता है. In the same way, even in diatoms, the two shells are going to fit perfectly over each other like a soap box. Therefore, diatoms are called as soap boxes of plant kingdom. क्या कहते हैं उनको? Soap boxes नाम दिया गया है उनको. Fine. The walls of the diatoms are embedded with silica, and thus the walls become indestructible. So वो जो small spots आपको दिखाई दे रहे थे ना अभी, those bubble like things or sabudana like things that were present on the surface of the diatoms, they were nothing but silica, right? And because of the silica na, the walls will be non-destructible. You cannot destruct them, you cannot destroy them. They are going to be indestructible. Thus, diatoms have left behind large amount of cell wall deposits in their habitat. We just now saw that diatoms are going to be found in fresh water also and marine water also. So wherever they are going to be present now, when they die, they will go and settle down at the bottom of these water bodies. and they'll deposit this silica at the bottom of the water body. This accumulation over billions of years is referred to as diatomaceous earth. Yeah, it's called as Kieselguhr. What we call it as diatomaceous earth या फिर Kieselguhr. Diatom से बना हुआ earth. Earth मतलब soil, मिट्टी. Therefore, it's called as what? Diatomaceous earth, or it's also called as Kieselguhr. Yes, yes, yes. Silica acts as a protective layer. Very true, beta. No, coral reefs are different, my dear. Coral reef अलग होते हैं. ये अलग है. Now see, being gritty. Gritty समझते हो? Gritty matlab when you touch the soil, you can feel the particles of the soil. That's called as gritty. So being gritty, this soil is used in polishing, filtration of oils and syrups. If you have got AquaGuard at your house, if you use AquaGuard, तो उसमें है ना कैंडल्स आते हैं, देखिए आपने, और उसमें आता है यू हैव टू चेंज द कैंडल्स आफ्टर सो मेनी डेज, ऐसे होता है. हाँ, सो दैट कैंडल का जो मटेरियल है ना बेटा, इट इज योर सिलिका. सो ये जो डायटम सिलिका बनाते हैं ना उनके बॉडी के ऊपर, वो कलेक्ट करते हैं हम, एंड वी यूज टू मेक दीज कैंडल्स ऑफ एक्वागार्ड व्हिच हेल्प्स इन फिल्ट्रेशन. Yes, it's the filtration. Yeah, it's the filtration material, my dear. So whenever now that person comes to your house to change the candles, na, you can see the old candles and you can actually, that time understand that how the silica looks like. Yeah, they are very, very tiny. They are very tiny. Yes, yes. And they stop the flow of dirt. Very true, beta. Very true. Okay, so you understand what is diatomaceous earth. अगर वो कैंडल को आप तोड़ोगे ना, तो आपको हाथ में लेने के बाद वो ना ग्रिटीनेस फील होगा. You can actually feel that gritty thing in your hand. Okay, diatoms are the chief producers of the ocean. Chief producers means they are the ones who are going to be responsible to start the food chain. So diatoms will be eaten by the zooplanktons. Zooplanktons will be eaten by small fish. Small fish will be eaten by large fish. Large fish will be eaten by birds है, जो भी कोई है, जो fish के ऊपर consume करता है. It could be man also. So diatoms have started the food chain. So they are the chief producers of oceans. This is a very common question that has been asked in your examinations, that the chief producers of ocean are dash. So they are no one but diatoms. Okay. Have you all understood diatoms very perfectly? Anyone who has not understood any point of this slide or the previous slide, बेटा किसी को कोई difficulty है समझने में? कुछ है तो बोलो. Let me know. Come on. Very good. Sure. So let's move ahead with the second group. That's going to be dinoflagellates. Okay, are phytoplanktons different than normal plankton? Planktons are of two types: zooplankton and phytoplankton. So these are the phytoplanktons. Means the planktons का मतलब क्या होता है? Floating unicellular organisms. If they are belonging to the plant, they will be called as phytoplankton. If they are going to be belonging to the animals, they will be called as zooplankton. Okay, so planktons दो type के हैं. So here we are talking about whom? Phytoplankton. Okay, good. The second group that we're going to talk about is going to be the dinoflagellates. So see, these organisms are mostly marine, photosynthetic. They appear yellow, green, brown, blue, red, depending upon which pigments are present in them. So the predominantly found pigment will give a characteristic color to those particular organisms. Okay, so you can see shades of these dinoflagellates. आपको येलो भी दिखाई देंगे, ग्रीन भी दिखाई देंगे, ब्राउन भी दिखाई देंगे, ब्लू भी दिखाई देंगे. राइट, गॉट इट? या. Zooplanktons will not be photosynthetic protists, beta. They'll be coming under your animal protists, which I'm going to talk about आगे. Animal protists, when I'll explain, those will be your zooplanktons. Fine. So these are going to be your diatoms and dinoflagellates, which are protistian protists. That is going to be your phytoplankton. ठीक है, नो कंफ्यूजन, क्लियर अबाउट दिस? ओके, well, then see the cell wall has stiff cellulosic plates on the outer surface. Now here in this diagram only you can see this, ये stiff plates दिखाई दे रहे बेटा, ये देखो, can you see these plates? So these are made up of what? These are made up of cellulose, and these cellulose से ऐसे पूरे है ना, उसको पूरा ये जो डाइनोफ्लैजेलेट्स है ना, उनको पूरा प्लेट से प्रोटेक्टिव कवरिंग है. They are going to be completely covered by this cellulosic plates. So it's made up of cellulose. Then most of them have two flagella. One lies longitudinal and the other transversely in a furrow between the wall plates. So here you can see, ये जो एक flagella है, ये furrow में है. Furrow समझते हो ना? Groove, एक gap के जैसा. So here this is going to be one flagella which is going to be longitudinal and this is going to be the transverse flagella जो है ना ऐसे घूमता है, और एक जो है ऐसा longitudinal है. So one is going to be longitudinal, one is going to be transverse. Okay. Now most of them, very often, but before I go to this point now, I'll just tell you one more point, beta. These dinoflagellates are going to be called as whirling whip. Whirling whips, जैसे कि diatoms को soap boxes कहा गया था, in the same way the dinoflagellates will be called as whirling whips. Whirling means what? Moving, and whip means belt. So how do they move? They move in this particular fashion, in a spinning top like thing also, and they move ahead also. So you have seen a top. आपके language में top को क्या कहते हैं? Beyblades. You all call it as Beyblades. We used to call it as tops. तो वो ऐसे टॉप को ऐसे हम लोग कहना ऊपर से, हाँ, exactly Bhumi, it's called as bhamrata, correct. So used to tie with a rope and we used to like pull the string, and then the tops used to move like this way also, and they used to move ahead and aju baju mein also. So these dinoflagellates na, they move like this way, they move circular also and they move ahead and पीछे आगे सब जगह पर घूमते हैं because of two flagella. So transverse उसको गोल घुमाता है और longitudinal उसको आगे लेके जाता है. Okay, so dinoflagellates are going to be called as what? Whirling whips. Whirling means going round and round. Whips mean going aage. Yes. Due to friction. Exactly. Okay. So if they ask you in your examination, you should know this word. So I'm just informing you that they are called as whirling whip. You may note this point now because it's not given over here, not given in your books also. So what is it going to be called as? It's going to be called as whirling whip. Note किया बेटा? Dinoflagellates को whirling whip कहा जाता है. Then look at the next point. Very often, red colored dinoflagellates, which are going to be, the example is Goniolax, undergo such rapid multiplication that they make the sea appear red to form red tide. मैंने लास्ट क्लास में आपको एक एग्जाम्पल बताया था which was causing red color to the red sea, and that time I had told you all, remember name of that particular organism which is going to give red color to the sea, and I had told you all, very good Zoe, very good my dear, that you have to remember this name because आगे भी एक ऐसे ही red tide आने वाला है which is going to be given by someone else. So the red tide is because of Goniolax, and the red sea is because of whom? Zoe has given the right answer. Come on, others, please try to recollect that point. Very good, Siddhika. Very good, my dear. Very good. Exactly. Come on, others. Very nice. दो ही आंसर सही है, दो ही लोग पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं क्या? Come on, others, give the answers quickly. If you recollect that name. Even in the spell, अरे forget spelling को अपने को क्या है? अपने को तो सिर्फ bubble करना है. We have to just find the correct answer and do that bubble. Spelling छोड़ो. Even if you're not sure with the spelling, it's okay. Give the answers. Come on. Try. Try it out. नहीं? Oh my God. Please don't tell me that you don't remember the things, whatever has been told. Very good, Palak. Yes, Shwet, you're right. Kinjal, you're right. Sara, you're right. Yeah, even if that's something, it's okay. You just remember trichodesmium, it's enough. Okay, so it's Trichodesmium erythrium, which I had taught you all in the last class in cyanobacteria, if you remember. So what is the difference between the red sea and the red tide? Okay, so red sea mein, when you collect the water in your hand, you can actually feel its red color ka pani. That is red sea. And red tide में when you pick up the water in your hand, it is your normal water color. Then tide क्या है? देखिए बेटा, जब waves आते हैं ना, आप कभी गए हो? Have you all been to any beaches or something? हाँ, अरे spelling it's okay, no issues. So if you have gone to the beaches now, when you see the tide coming, can you see एक white color का froth आता है उसके ऊपर? That white color का झाग आता है उसके साथ. Have you all seen that? Yes. So in case of red tide, that white color ka froth will be, instead of white, it will be red in color. That is called as red tide. So wherever there is going to be goniolax being present in the waters, they are going to give this red tide. And whenever there is Trichodesmium erythrium being present in the water will be red colored. Is it understood? What is the difference between water and the tide? Yes, very nice. So if the question in your examination comes about red sea, your answer will be Trichodesmium erythrium. If your question in the examination is going to be red tide, your answer will be Goniolax. समझ में आ रही है बातें? ये tangent जा रही है ऊपर से, हाँ? समझ रहे हैं कि नहीं? Please pay attention, beta. These are the questions which are very famous about this particular chapter. That's all with your dinoflagellates. Have we completed all? Sorry. Last point mera reh gaya. Good. Last point is, see, toxins called as saxitoxin is released by such large amount of organisms which are dinoflagellates, especially Goniolax only, which may even kill the marine animals such as fish. So you know what happens? These Goniolax, or any of these dinoflagellates. Yes, Krishna, you're right, beta. So these dinoflagellates now, what they will do is they will produce a toxin. You know toxin? Toxin is a poison. वो एक poison बनाते हैं when in large number. हाँ, थोड़े थोड़े रहेंगे तो नहीं, थोड़े थोड़े रहेंगे तो नहीं. Okay? बताया है क्या? जो मूवी I have not seen. I am not very fond of movies. I'm very bad at movies. Movies मत निकालो, नहीं तो मैं फेल हो जाऊंगी तुम्हारे एग्जाम में. I'm very bad at it. Anyway, yeah, cyanobacteria. Trichodesmium comes under cyanobacteria. It's an example of cyanobacteria. You're right. Well, so these toxins जो होते हैं, ये जो poisons होते हैं ना, they'll be produced by whom? They'll be produced by dinoflagellates. Now, these dinoflagellates are going to be consumed. They are going to be consumed by small fish. If the fish are going to consume these dinoflagellates directly, then there is a chance that even they will get killed because of that poison. But generally what happens, these dinoflagellates would be eaten by shellfish. You know shellfish? Bivalves कहते हैं उसको. हाँ, yeah. What is shellfish बेटा? खाते हो तुम लोग? मुझे नहीं पता है. I don't know if you all eat shellfish or not. शेलफिश ऐसे बाइवाल्स होते हैं, ऑयस्टर्स जिसमें से निकल आते हैं. हाँ, ओके. No, even I also don't consume fish or egg also. I don't eat, but I have seen people eating. Okay. Exactly. Shimple. In Marathi we call it shimple. Yes. That's what, Krishna, I'm coming to that point only, but I'm coming to your point only. See, now what happens is, this shellfish, now, they consume these dinoflagellates. Okay. Now, if you all have seen shellfish ka cooking, the people who eat them, now, what do now? They first boil the shellfish a lot. नॉर्मल पानी में उसको बहुत उसको उबालते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा बॉइलिंग करते हैं, है ना. और उसके बाद उसमें वो मसाला जो डालना है वो सब डालते हैं. You know why? Because shellfish, if it has consumed this toxin, and if we consume that shellfish without cooking it properly, cooking means in fact boiling to remove all the toxic effect, to remove this poisonous effect, we have to boil them. Okay, and if we do not boil them properly and we consume them, like somewhat raw or uncooked or something like that way, it may even kill the human beings. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. It has to be boiled very nicely. Get me? So ऐसा क्या होता है कि ये हमें हमें इन्फेक्ट करता है, लेकिन ऑयस्टर को नहीं करता है, शेलफिश को कुछ नहीं होता है, लेकिन ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ऐसा शेलफिश खाएंगे तो दे विल डाई. व्हाट हैपेंस लाइक दैट वे? द रीजन इज बेटा दिस टैक्सी ना इज अ न्यूरल टॉक्सिन. न्यूरल समझते हो? हाँ, ब्रेन से रिलेटेड है. सो इट इज गोइंग टू एक्चुअली कॉज ब्रेन में प्रॉब्लम, हैमरेज के जैसे कराता है वो. Shellfish do not have a well developed nervous system, so this toxin is not going to be having any negative effect on the shellfish. Okay, but when that shellfish will be consumed by us, neural system very well developed in human beings, it will immediately go and attack. Okay, so that is the reason the people who eat shellfish in India, we generally cook it and eat it. Okay, even they will get infected because fish have got nervous system. When we'll be doing animal kingdom, you will come to know that even fish have got nervous systems. Okay. Well, but it depends on individuals, Baba. Some people love that particular type of food, but in India we cook it and eat it. Abroad mein hai na, I don't know if you have seen that episode of Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean करके एक कुछ आता था, इतना पता है आपको? हाँ. So उस मिस्टर बीन के एक एपिसोड में है ना, I don't know, he that Mr. Bean is in one of the restaurants or in some of the hotels, and there's one more a neighbor who is there beside him. Yeah, you have seen ना. Yeah, so what they do, that वो जो बंदा है ना, उसका जो नेबर है, मतलब उसके जो रूम के बाजू में है, उन दोनों में कुछ तो ठसन चल रही है. They are having some sort of like a type of a, what we say, to prove that I am better than you. Okay, I don't know about the movie, I've seen that episode. I don't know the name of that also. Cold War sort of a thing. Yes, my dear, perfect. So what happens is, this particular person, that other person, he eats that shellfish. Have you seen how he scrapes it off? So they take the two shells, एक से वो scraping करता है और पूरा gulp down करता है, कच्चा कच्चा ही खाता है वो पकाते नहीं है उसको. Like it scrapes them like a spoon and they just gulp it down. Now that particular person eats only one. He comes to know कि it is not good. उसमें कुछ तो problem है or something. But Mr. Bean, he looks he looks at that fellow that he is eating. उसके सामने ना shining मारने के लिए, ज़्यादा ये करने के लिए ना, वो उसको बहुत सारे एक साथ खा लेता है. And then he has got that stomach problem or whatever it is, कुछ बताया है. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I had seen that. I mean, episode मैंने देखा था बहुत साल पहले. So I remember that particular thing. So in foreign countries now, they eat the shellfish without cooking, and that is the reason that they are more prone to have this effect of saxitoxin. In India, generally we cook food and eat. है ना? Yeah. Exactly, Dhruv. Exactly, my dear. Okay. Yes, yes. No shell fishing unit. Exactly. So this is what is about your saxitoxin. Okay, fine. Okay. Yes. Yes, my dear. I got your message, Krishna. I saw your message. Okay. Well, so here you can just note down this particular point about affecting. Basically, they want to say that it affects the nervous system. That is what is about that you have to remember. So that's all with your dinoflagellates, nothing else to know about them more. And lastly, in case of plant-like protists, we go ahead with euglenoids. So we have seen three: rhizophytes, dinoflagellates, and euglenoids. So euglenoid is the last one to be understood. Huh. Dinoflagellates, they are photosynthetic, beta. They are photosynthetic now. They are yellow colored, green colored, blue colored, brown color, red color. So they are autotrophic. They all are plant-like protists, na? So these all three are capable of making their own food, right? Right? Yes. Got it? Yeah. The last one is euglenoid. Now let's talk about the euglenoid. See, उसका photograph दिया है वहाँ पर कैसे दिख रहा है देखो. How does it look like? So majority of them are freshwater organisms found in stagnant water. They're saying freshwater and stagnant water means they are not marine. They cannot be found in salt water. They are found in fresh water, and that too stagnant. So it could be ponds, it could be lakes. So it's not going to be the free flowing water. It's going to be stagnant water. Instead of cell wall, it looks like that, but it is different. Huh? Instead of cell wall, the euglenoids are going to have a protein-rich outer covering or a layer, which is called as pellicle. And due to the presence of this pellicle, the body of the euglenoids is going to be very, very flexible. It imparts flexibility. Yeah, in the pic it is euglena. Yes, my dear, you're right. This photograph is of euglena. So this euglena or these euglenoids, they are going to be highly flexible. Why are they flexible? Because they do not have the rigid cell wall. Now the question comes is, if they do not have cell wall, how can they be picked up from the plants? How can we call them as plant-like protists? Right? That is the question that comes to our mind. But look at the next sentence, that they are capable of showing mixotrophic nutrition, means whenever sunlight is available, they'll be capable of photosynthesis as they have chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, exactly the same chlorophyll which is present in the green plants. So they are capable of photosynthesis, and whenever the sunlight is not available, they will act as heterotrophs. 24 घंटे मस्त ना. 24 आवर्स क्या करना है, इधर खुद का खाना बना के कंज्यूम करना है, या जब पॉसिबल नहीं होता है तो हेटेरोट्रॉफ दूसरे जगह से फूड ऑब्टेन करना है. हाँ एग्जैक्टली 24 आवर्स मजे लेने हैं, खाते ही रहना है, राइट? Exactly. So that is the speciality of euglenoids, which is called as mixotrophic type of nutrition. Well, see, they have two flagella, one long, one short. You can see very clearly from the photograph. ये long वाला है और ये short वाला है, right? Nutrition is mixotrophic. That is, though they are photosynthetic in the presence of sunlight, when deprived of sunlight, they behave like heterotrophs by predating on small or other animals, right? Interestingly, the pigments of the euglenoids are identical to the present higher plants. So chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B are the two pigments found in the green plants in our surrounding. The same pigments are found in euglenoids also. So we have to consider them to be plants now. Pigment same है, photosynthesis कर पाते हैं, लेकिन animal like quality भी दिखाते हैं. They are showing animal like property also. That when they do not get sunlight, they are going to be predators. They'll be heterotrophs. They will consume other organisms. Correct? So these euglenoids are going to show mixotrophic type of nutrition. You understood the meaning of mixotrophic now? Right? See. Under example they have given is euglena. So interestingly, the pigments of euglenoids and plants are going to be the same. Example, euglena. Under favorable conditions, they multiply by longitudinal binary fission. Longitudinal का मतलब होता है बेटा something like this way. They'll be dividing in this form. ऐसे ऐसे नहीं डिवाइड होते हैं, वो ट्रांसवर्सली नहीं डिवाइड होते हैं, यहाँ से ऐसे डिवाइड होते हैं. This is called as longitudinal cell division. Did you all understand this? Euglenoids के ये पार्ट में किसी को कोई भी डिफिकल्टी है क्या? Does anyone have any doubts? Does anyone have any difficulty? Yeah. But all euglenoids have for the same type of shape and same type of flagellation and everything the same. Everything is the same. Got it? Remember this word pellicle? What is this pellicle? It is a proteinaceous covering over the body of euglenoids because it does not have a cell wall. Easy? Good. So that's all with your plant-like protist altogether. समझ में आया plant-like protist? चलिए अभी ये भी easy है. Consumer decomposer protist छोटा ही है, and even animal-like protist भी एकदम easy है. So let us talk about consumer decomposer protists or fungi-like protists, which are called as slime molds. Now, in your examinations, they'll only ask about Euglena. So don't worry about anything else. Just focus on the word Euglena. Okay. Slime molds are saprophytic protists. See, they are fungi-like. And we know fungus kaisa hai. It survives on dead and decaying matter. Therefore, they are saprophytes. Now, I told you all what are saprophytes. Those which consume dead and decaying matter are going to be called as saprophytes, right? So these organisms which are unicellular, eukaryotic, therefore placed under protista, are going to be fungi-like protists. So they are going to be surviving on dead and decaying matter. The body moves along decaying twigs and leaves, engulfing organic matter. So what do? Their body is going to be moving along the twigs. Twigs समझते हो ना? छोटे छोटे मतलब पेड़ से जो छोटे छोटे पीसेस गिर जाते हैं नीचे, ट्वाइंस एंड ट्विग्स कहते हैं हम लोग उसको. Okay, they are going to be present. What are you asking? Are they also mainly aquatic? Euglenoids? Yeah, but fresh water. Fresh water, my dear. They cannot survive in marine water. Fresh and stagnant water. Okay. Small branches. Yes, Vidhi, you're right. There would be small branches है या फिर flower के जो stalk होते हैं वो है like that way. Okay. So they are going to be moving. Their body is going to move along the twigs and leaves, engulfing organic matter. Who? These slime molds. Fine. Slime molds are of two types, acellular and cellular. But acellular only will make up cellular and cellular only will make up acellular. तो आपको दो अलग से नहीं पढ़ने हैं. ये देखिए मैं explain करती हूँ आपको what is it. Acellular slime molds, we also call them as plasmodial slime molds. Now I am right now only making this point very clear to you all. ये जो plasmodium word आ रहा है ना in this slime mold, this plasmodium and your malaria causing plasmodium are totally different. Okay, this plasmodium of the slime molds and the causative agent of malaria, which is also a plasmodium, are totally different. There is no connection between them. Fine. So please don't get confused कि ये प्लाज्मोडियम कौन है और यही अपने को मलेरिया क्रॉस करता है क्या. नहीं, स्लाइम मोल्स का प्लाज्मोडियम हमें मलेरिया नहीं कॉज करता है. ये प्लीज आप है ना बोल्ड लेटर्स में लिख के लेना बेटा. द प्लाज्मोडियम ऑफ slime molds is different from the plasmodium which causes malaria. They are not the same. Fine. What are they? See, acellular slime molds, they are somatic bodies. Somatic means, what do you mean by the word somatic? They are vegetative cells. Okay, so their somatic body are free living, multinucleate and diploid. Multinucleate means there is going to be one particular cell in which there would be many nuclei, right? In cell unit of life, we have done this. Cenocytic and syncytial condition. Cenocytic for plants and syncytial for animals is what I had already explained you, right? Now, these cells would be having many nuclei, multinucleate condition, okay? And each nucleus will have two sets of chromosomes. Therefore, they are multinucleate also and they are diploid also. दोनों का फर्क समझ में आया बेटा? Understood the meaning of this? Free living means they are not dependent on anyone. They can live on their own. And they are multinucleate means they have got many nuclei, right? And each nucleus is having two sets of chromosomes. Fine? Got this? Yes. So that's going to be your first point and the most important point. Now see, under suitable conditions, so when the conditions are favorable, they form an aggregation called as plasmodium. So these all different cells will come together and they'll form a large aggregate. ठीक है? और ये aggregate को कहते हैं plasmodium, which may grow and spread over several feet. So this plasmodium can go on increasing, and it can, reach to long distances. Several feet tak wo spread hote hain. But when the conditions are unfavorable, what will happen? See, When the conditions are unfavorable, the plasmodium differentiates and forms fruiting bodies bearing spores at their tips. So, when the conditions will become unfavorable, na differentiate होना मतलब क्या होना बेटा? To attain a particular shape, to attain a particular size, उसको हम कहते हैं differentiate. Okay. Yeah, see, single cellular organisms are also, but in aggregation, they form large colonies and they spread. तो पूरी की पूरी ऐसी एक ऐसी लंबी चौड़ी फैमिली उनकी दिखाई देती है, कॉलोनी दिखाई देती है, ठीक है? तो you know like how will they appear? I'll tell you. I don't know if you have seen the such type of uh, parades or all these things. So especially during 26th January, na, they perform all these activities. So there are some people in orange t-shirts, some students in white t-shirts, some students in green t-shirts, and all these students are made to stand in such a way that ऊपर से है ना वो इंडिया का फ्लैग दिखाई देगा. देखा है आपने ऐसा कभी? ऊपर से देखेंगे तो पूरा इंडिया का फ्लैग. हाँ, यस यस यस, वाघा बॉर्डर नियर पंजाब. यस. So here also ना they do it like that way, like that orange का एक पूरा बेल्ट ऊपर से लगता है कि वो इंडिया का फ्लैग है, but actually there are say 50 students standing in that orange t-shirts, 50 students standing in white, 50 in green. So there are individual ones. Here also it's something like that way only. These are single organisms, but they form large colonies and they spread and it appears like a bada wala. Yes, by drone you can capture that exactly. Okay, so that is only under favorable conditions. Under unfavorable condition, what will happen? They'll not spread, they'll not divide, rather they will form fruiting bodies. They'll form what? Fruiting bodies. What are fruiting bodies? A knob like structure at the apex, and they'll form spores inside it. So जैसे ही spores बनेंगे तो they are safe from the unfavorable conditions. They'll get extra covering, extra coating, which will prevent them from getting killed by the adverse conditions. Okay, so under favorable conditions, plasmodium will be formed and they'll, multiply and move to long distances. But when the conditions become unfavorable, they form aggregates and they form fruiting bodies. And those fruiting bodies will form a capsule. And inside the capsule, there will be formation of spores. And the spores can withstand adverse conditions for a very long time. Yes, 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 exactly, Palak. Spores like fungi, exactly like that, they'll be making it. ठीक है? So that is the way the acellular slime molds are going to be, formed. See, this is one of the acellular slime mold का photograph. See, ये एक है बेटा, ऐसे लंबे लंबे एक साथ आके हैं ना, ऐसे बड़ी बड़ी कॉलोनीज बनाता जाएगा. Now the spores are formed by meiosis. You know this. Diploid है तो they'll be formed by meiosis. The spores germinate to produce gametes, which fuse to form vegetative bodies. So these gametes will fuse together to form the zygote basically, correct? And they'll form these type of structures when the conditions become favorable. The spores possesses true walls, means the spores of slime molds are going to have true cellulosic cell wall. Okay? ये cellulosic cell wall होता है उनमें. They means the spores. They are extremely resistant and survive for many years even under adverse conditions. The spores are dispersed by air currents. Easy? Understood slime molds very clearly? Any difficulty with slime molds and the word plasmodium of slime molds, my dears? कोई है difficulty समझने में तो बोलो. So that's all with your plant-like protist. Second point, this the spores will ultimately what? When the conditions will become favorable, the spores will germinate and they will again get converted into such type of vegetative bodies. ये देखो ये vegetative body है बेटा. So they'll get converted into such type of an organism again. Acellular slime mold बनाएगा वापस. Okay, got it? Correct? Yes. Yes. Anything else? Anyone else who has got any difficulty in this? So we have completed with plant-like protist. We have completed with fungi-like protists. Now, to end up for today's session, I'll just go ahead with animal-like protists, which is very simple, which you all know also, but still we'll be going ahead with it. Photograph देख के ही समझ में आया ना? It's nothing but your amoeba that we're going to talk about. Exactly. So see, all protozoans are heterotrophs and live as predators or parasites. They are animal-like protists, na? So they are, these unicellular eukaryotic animals have been picked up and put under protista. Correct? Yes. Yes, Palak. They produce both. Yeah, yeah. Okay, they are actually going to be just, they are very, very simple type of organism. So specifically male, female ऐसे नहीं, कोई भी मतलब फॉर्म्स जो है इसको एक को प्लस कहते हैं एक को माइनस कहते हैं दे फ्यूज टुगेदर ओके so I was talking about what protozoans now see they are believed to be primitive relatives of animals there are four major groups of protozoans the first is amoeboid protist amoeba hai to amoeboid protist so see these organisms live in fresh water sea water moist soil they move they capture their prey by putting out pseudopodia which are nothing but the false feet as in case of amoeba right marine forms have now this is a point which you need to remember and understand also my dears the marine amoeboid protists have silica shells on their surface just the way just the way the diatoms were having but diatoms were having silica on the cell wall because they are plant like protists they have got a cell wall these are animal like protists they do not have a cell wall so they will be having silica on their cell membrane minute difference and you all ought to make this particular ghapla in your test 110% आप लोग इसमें मिस्टेक करोगे अगर ध्यान नहीं दिया तो मैंने तो बता दिया है मिस्टेक अवॉइड करने के लिए क्या डायटम्स का सिलिका विल बी प्रेजेंट ऑन द सेल वॉल ये जो अमीबा लाइक प्रोटिस्ट है उनका सिलिका विल बी प्रेजेंट ऑन द सेल मेम्ब्रेन काइंडली मेक अ नोट ऑफ इट आई डोंट वांट any one of you all to make this mistake in your examinations better so when they say it is present on their surface on the cell membrane ka surface not on the cell wall ये animals है animals में cell wall होता है क्या never ना so they are going to be what they are going to be animal like protists so they'll be having silica embedded impregnated on their cell membrane ka surface okay surface of cell membrane they are in surface नहीं their surface will be having their body surface will be having cell membrane and that cell membrane will have deposition of silica or formation of silica is it okay so the marine forms have silica shells on their surface some of them such as entamoeba are parasites entamoeba second last point you have not heard about amoeba नहीं अमीबा जो होता है वो कैसे बेटा ये जो होते हैं इसको हम क्या कहते हैं we call this as false feet or it's called as what it's called as pseudopodia so what do they put out the pseudopodia and they engulf they eat their food by phagocytosis right so in lysosomes I had told you what was for phagocytosis here also these finger like projections which are going to be seen are called as pseudo means false podia means legs so these false legs will come together they will join and they will engulf the food inside them okay why not the whole body any part of the body can form this and any part of the body can release their false feet एक ही तरफ से ऐसा कुछ नहीं कोई भी and they are capable of changing their shapes it's not fixed their shapes can be changed okay yeah they enter into the food vacuole on them correct okay so they can change the pseudopodia structures no issues with that so remember about the entamoeba beta. Entamoeba is going to be, entamoeba histolytica is going to cause dysentery. Amoebic dysentery जो बोलते हैं ना हम लोग, it is caused because of entamoeba histolytica, which is an amoeboid protist. ठीक है? Got it? Only two examples. अमीबा एंड एंट अमीबा, ये दो आपको याद रखने हैं फॉर एमेबॉइड प्रोटोजोन्स, ठीक है। Look at the next one, flagellated protozoans. As the name says, the protozoans which are going to have flagella. Example is going to be trypanosoma. You know trypanosoma? It causes sleeping sickness. सुना है आपने trypanosoma causes sleeping sickness. So see, the member of this group are either free living or parasitic. They have a flagella. The parasitic form causes diseases such as sleeping sickness. Entamoeba histolytica, that one. Question which was asked from the last point, I forgot. I only forgot. Huh. And this was the question that I was saying, that here in case of your amoeba or entamoeba, rather entamoeba histolytica, this particular organism, it is going to be an animal protist. Na beta? So it will not have cell walls. So the silica would be present on the cell membrane ka surface and not cell wall ka surface. But diatom is going to be a plant. So it is going to be having cell wall. So its silica would be present on the cell wall surface. So the question, look at it, what are they asking? Are they asking about entamoeba ka silica or are they asking about diatoms ka silica? Accordingly answer the question. Okay? Yes. Well, so trypanosoma is the example of flagellated protist, my dear. You look at this particular organism, यहाँ पर आपको दिखाई दे रहा है in the photograph. See how is it? This is the free flagellum and this is the attached flagellum and it will be entire. See, it is also going to have a pellicle. It's going to have cytoplasm. It's have a nucleus, kinetoplast. It is going to be just a balancing के लिए organ होता है ये. Anyway, so this is going to be your trypanosoma. It's microscopic. It doesn't look so, like it is a microscopic image. Okay, and this trypanosoma कौन carry करके लेके आता है? जैसे मलेरिया में मस्कीटो लेके आता है ना प्लाज्मोडियम को, वैसे फ्लैजेलेटेड प्रोटिस्ट में ये ट्रिपैनोसोमा जो है ना वो किसके अंदर से इन्फेक्ट होता है पता है आपको? डू यू नो? Anyone knows the name of that particular vector who brings this particular organism in it? It's tsetse fly, tsetse fly. What is the name of that fly? tsetse. It's called as tsetse fly. तो ये जो TSC फ्लाई है ना, इट विल, हाँ या यस, टिप्सी कहते हैं उसको, TSC। ये क्या करता है ना, ये फ्लैजेलेटेड प्रोटोजोआ जो है ना, ट्रिपैनोसोमा है ना, उसको अपने सलाइवरी ग्लैंड में ग्रो होने देता है एंड देन दिस फ्लाई विल कम एंड बाइट ह्यूमन बीइंग and when it bites human being now it will transfer the trypanosoma into that particular human being. And if it enters into human, then these people who have got infected with trypanosoma or who have been bitten by the tsetse fly are going to be falling prey to the sleeping sickness. Okay, so we have to remember that sleeping sickness is caused by trypanosoma, which is a flagellated protozoa. Okay, then we have got ciliated one. As the name says, these are aquatic, actively moving organisms. Actively means they are going to move against the flow of water. Okay, because of the presence of thousands of cilia. So they have got cilia, so they can actually move against the water flow and reach wherever they want to. Yes, exactly. Yes, sure. They have a cavity called as gullet that opens to the outside of the cell surface. The coordinated movement of rows of cilia causes the water laden with food to be steered into the gullet. Gullet is just like your cavity for mouth sort of a thing. So here you can see this very clearly in this diagram they have given over here. So when you can see how many numerous this are there cilia are going to be present. बच्चा वो स्लीपिंग सिकनेस अलग है, जो अपना स्लीपिंग सिकनेस है ना वो अलग है। अपना स्लीपिंग सिकनेस है ना, वो कोई काटे ना काटे वो लाइफ लॉन्ग अपने को परेशान करता रहेगा, हाँ या ना? ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल आर प्रे टू स्लीपिंग सिकनेस ना इन दैट पर्टिकुलर वे। आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ यू। हाँ एग्जैक्टली वो सुबह जब अलार्म होता है या आपके पेरेंट्स उठाने के लिए आते हैं तो यू ऑलवेज फील ना, अरे अब भी तो सोया हूँ यार, इतने जल्दी कैसे उठाने को आ गए। lazy exactly, all parents will call the sleeping sickness as lazy. Very good Anirudh, exactly bachcha. No transmission required. It's a unique property of all human beings of this age, I would say, right? Yeah, so that is the unique property. 2 minutes, अरे 1 minute is also valuable. वो 1 मिनट का सोने के लिए भी, and you know what is the beauty of it? When your parents or anyone like mother है, father है, जो भी है, कोई उठाने के लिए आ जाएगा तो the standard answer क्या है? 2 minutes मम्मा, 2 minutes, बस 2 मिनट में उठ रही हूँ मैं, है ना? हाँ. All moms will say the same thing that you will get an award for sleeping. I'm sure all moms will say the same thing. वो 2 मिनट का जो होता है ना, उसमें भी और भी कुछ है। क्या है पता है? अरे 2 मिनट में तो मैगी भी नहीं बनती, आप बार बार क्यों मुझे 2 मिनट में उठाने के लिए आते हो? ये भी डायलॉग सुनने को मिलते हैं नहीं मिलते हैं? ऐसे कभी बोले हो तुम लोग? देखो मैंने एक एक्स्ट्रा डायलॉग तुम्हारे दिमाग में डाल दिया कल से। इफ योर पेरेंट्स कम टू वेक यू अप, तुम लोग बोल सकते हो मम्मा मैगी भी 2 मिनट में नहीं मिलती है, आप बार बार क्यों मुझे हर 1 मिनट के बाद उठाने के लिए आते हो? करेक्ट? वो जो स्लीपिंग सिकनेस है वो हमारा लेजी सिकनेस है। द एक्चुअल स्लीपिंग सिकनेस में क्या होता है ना, द पीपल विल नॉट स्लीप लाइक दैट वे। चप्पल नहीं, मैं तो पानी डाल देती हूँ। लिटरली। ओके। बाकी कुछ काम नहीं करता है, आधा घंटा सोने का ना। एग्जैक्टली एग्जैक्टली। What to do? We can't help it now. Ultimately, moms have the responsibility of waking up the kids now for their school, for their class, for whatever it is. So we can't help whatever you say. So that नहीं, our sleeping sickness is different, my dears. This sleeping sickness में क्या होता है ना, the people who are affected by this sleeping sickness ना, they won't have the capacity to stand or sit. As soon as they stand or sit ना, they'll fall down. They actually don't go to sleep. They don't actually go to sleep. So like the minute they want to try to wake up, they'll get that giddiness, and they'll again fall down. That type of sleeping. Sleeping matlab actually unable to get up from the place is something like that way that these people will be suffering from. But don't worry, it's not there in India. It's only predominantly seen in African continents. इंडिया में स्लीपिंग सिकनेस अभी तक नहीं आया है, थैंक गॉड ना, नहीं तो क्या फिर। एनीवेज ओके, या एग्जैक्टली। uh, they'll be having cell membrane, plasma membrane है, no pellicle needed, no pellicle needed. Okay. नहीं बैकग्राउंड सपोर्ट, हाँ ऑफ कोर्स दैट इज तो देयर, वो तो ड्यूअल चलता ही रहता है श्वेत। Okay, but so look at this. So here, you know what happens? The food is going to enter when the water will be steered backwards. Now, what will happen? The water will move backwards and will come again like this way in the front. ना पीछे जाके पानी आगे आएगा, तो इनके गलेट में वो एंटर करके फूड के साथ वो पानी अंदर चला जाएगा. So in this way, they want to steer the food. Steer means when you row the oars, boat के oars rowing करते हो ना, so how the water will be like coming ahead of you all. In the same way that water will come ahead and they'll push themselves ahead now, these paramecium, so they'll be capable of engulfing the food inside. Okay, so that is about your paramecium, one example of your ciliated protist. Fine. And last, to complete this particular part, in some there could be present, my dear, but it is not compulsory for all to have a pellicle. Some might have it. Okay. Last is our the mastermind sporozoan, which is Plasmodium. Now this Plasmodium is the one which is going to cause malaria. Malaria cause करने वाला जो organism है, that is going to be your Plasmodium. This one. Look at it. How does it look like? This includes diverse organisms that have infectious spore-like stages in their life cycle. The most notorious is Plasmodium, which is the malarial parasite, which causes malaria, a disease which has a staggering effect on human population. Staggering means a prolonged effect. Okay, a strong and prolonged effect को हम कहते हैं staggering effect. And you know that Anopheles mosquito female Anopheles mosquito, to be very precise. है ना? She is the one who is going to be acting as a vector to transfer this plasmodium from her gut to the normal human being. तो एनोफिलस मस्कीटो ने अगर प्लाज्मोडियम अपने गट में बनाए हैं, उठाए हैं, तो फिर वो काटने पर ये उसका सलाइवा जब इंजेक्ट करती है ना हमारे बॉडी में, तो शी विल इंजेक्ट दीज प्लाज्मोडियम अलोंग विद द सलाइवा इनटू आवर बॉडी, एंड यस, even those who are going to be bitten by these anopheles female mosquito will be suffering from malaria, right? Huh. Oh my God. They may receive anything because they might be eating them. Who knows? They eat everything and anything, na? So probably they'll be eating them also. Well, so have you all understood what is plasmodium? Okay. Now there's a complete life cycle of plasmodium that we have to understand in the chapter of human health and diseases. That is HHD में हमें करना है. It's in 12th standard syllabus, of course, where I'll be explaining how this plasmodium enters the body of the mosquito, how it, what changes occur in the body of the mosquito, what will happen when that female Anopheles mosquito will again bite a new, human being, how it will get infection in that particular human being, everything in that HHD wala chapter I'll be talking about. Okay, so with this we complete with Protista completely. Okay, yeah, it is very, yeah, exactly. Those who get malaria na, they might have experienced life and death के बीच में झगड़ा होता रहता है, बहुत difficult होता है कभी कभी to control malaria, right? Yes, yes, I know, Bitra. So we have completed with Monera, we have completed with Protista. Now we are only left with fungi and virus. You also had malaria. Oh my God, it's very dangerous, Bitra. But so in the next class, that is going to be on Friday, we will complete this chapter of biological classification. Okay, so Friday ka lecture jo hai, that would be ending of this chapter, my dear. Okay, you had dengue also. Oh, be careful, my dears. Shweta, ask what is your question, beta? Please ask. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Whatever question is there in your mind. No, you left what? Anyway, so on Friday, the stem cell heart. Yes, stem cells से heart बना सकते. We can, we can. They are two different, my dears. It's completely different. Malaria is going to be caused by this plasmodium, that is a protozoan. And dengue is going to be caused by whom? Who is the positive agent of dengue? Who will tell me? Who causes dengue? बताओ बताओ. एरीज मस्कीटो है, लेकिन एरीज मस्कीटो किसको उसके माउथ में लेके आता है बेटा? उसकी बॉडी में क्या होता है? डेंगू कीड़ा नहीं. What you got trash from car and millions of it? Huh? Oh my God. Seriously. Take care, take care, take care, take care. Okay, fine. So try to find out this. डेंगू का पॉजिटिव एजेंट कौन है, बता मुझे नेक्स्ट क्लास में बताना बेटा. नो, इट्स नॉट एंटामीबा. एंटामीबा हिस्टोलिटिका इज गोइंग टू कॉज एमीबिक डिसेंट्री. फाइंड आउट करो, मुझे बताओ नेक्स्ट क्लास में, ठीक है? होमवर्क, आपके लिए होमवर्क दे रही हूँ. we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yes, Bhumi, you're right. You're perfectly right, my dear Bhumi. Your answer is perfectly right. But let others also think on these, and we'll discuss this on Friday, and we'll complete this chapter also on Friday. Aedes mosquito is the carrier, my dear. Yes, Kia, you're right with it. But Aedes is going to be the carrier. Yes, Krishna, even you're right, my dear. Anyways, we'll discuss it in the next class. I hope today I've solved your paper key doubts so that you don't repeat the doubts in your next coming examinations. Plus, we have completed with Protesta. You have got the notes with you all. The NCRT with you all. You have got this PPT with you all. Please revise it every time, my dears. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye, beta. See you all. See you all. See you all. Take care. See you. Bye. Bye.